Hi, I'm Sharon. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets in US letter or A4, and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam, and it's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And now we're going to continue with the Grade 4 2014 past papers, and we'll be making a start on paper C. So if you turn with me to page 14, we can get cracking on that. And as I always suggest, I do recommend that you try this on your own first of all. It doesn't matter if you go wrong. Always work in pencil and then you can just rub it out and have another go. So let's have a look at this. So the first page, this first question, is divided into little sections and they're all relating back to this section here. Now, this first question shows us how from 2014 the paper has now changed, and so the 2018 paper onwards has been newly revised, and all of these performance directions will be presented to you in multiple choice format. However, I would make full use of this. It's an excellent revision opportunity and give this its full definition. So it's not hard to guess that this means tranquil, or I guess you could say calm. Let's carry on. Now we're asked to describe the time signature. Is it simple or compound? And is it duple, triple or quadruple? Simple divides into groups of 2. Compound divides into groups of 3. That's the unit that we're counting in. And then here, duple, triple or quadruple are there 2, 3 or 4 beats per bar. Now here, 6/4 is 6 crotchet beats that we divide into 2 groups of 3, and so that's a compound time signature because we divide into 2 groups of 3, and because we divide into 2 groups it's duple. So there we go. Now we're asked to look at the music and then give one similarity and one difference between bars 5 and 6. And usually it's pretty easy to see straight away. And so the first similarity that we can see is that the rhythm is exactly the same. That's usually the case, but best to check. Also, I guess you could say the articulation is the same. And then looking at the difference, we can see that the pitch is different towards the end of the bar. Another difference actually is the fact that we've got this dynamic presence as well. So the dynamics change as well. There we go, so that's that one. Let's move on. So we're asked to rewrite the last note of the melody, which is this one here, so that it sounds at the same pitch but we're changing to alto clef. So we've got to put in the clef sound in the key signature. So let's do that straight away. So we want a double bar line to start with, and then the alto clef centres around this middle line. That's now middle C, and now the key signature will change. So F sharps is the top space and C sharps is that middle line where the middle C is. And so here, just to make sure we don't end up at the wrong octave, keep middle C as your anchor point, and here we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 C, D, E, F, G above middle C. So here's middle C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's the G above middle C, and of course we need to sharpen that, And so that's soon done. But if we forget to keep middle C as our anchor point, you risk being an octave out there. So now, we're asked to rewrite bars 1 and 2 using notes of half the value. And so we need to include a new time signature to reflect that. So here we're in a key signature of 6 crotchet beats, 6 quarter notes per bar. And so to change the time signature by halving everything, we still need 6 as our top number, but instead of counting in crotchet beats or quarter notes, we're going to count in quaver beats or eighth notes, and so our time signature will become 6/8. And so then we just have to halve everything, and so we will do that by making a crotchet or a quarter note into a quaver or an eighth note. We'll colour this in to make it a crotchet or a quarter note. That becomes a quaver. We colour that in, that becomes a crotchet or a quarter note. And then to halve these, we're going to add another beam to make those semiquavers or 16th notes. That will become a quaver or an eighth note. And then this will become a dotted crotchet or a dotted quarter note. So now that we've done the thinking, I'm just going to get the blobs in the right place. So let's get these note heads in place, just so I can keep everything nicely organised. I'll worry about stems afterwards. You can do this in any order you like though. So that's a tie, up a step. But now I've done the thinking, I already know that I can colour all of these note heads in. But now my brain's free to think about stems and so on. So that needs a little tail on it. So does this one, not that one however. Now this group of 4 will still be beamed together. Just make sure you can see that. And then it will need another beam as well to make them semiquavers. There we go. Oh, and then actually now this would have a tail on it, but because we're grouping together in crotchet beats, dotted crotchet beats, sorry, we will actually be beaming this. Ooh. Still, this next note is also still part of that group. There we go. So they will be beamed together with that. So there we can see there's 1 quaver beat, 2 quaver beats, 3 quaver beats. So they would all be beamed together. And then finally we just need a stem on that one there. So do you know, I'm just going to tidy that up a bit now because I've done a lot of scribble there as I'm thinking it through and discussing it. So let's just make that really obvious. There we go. So we can see that that's a whole dotted crotchet group. There we go. Now we've just got a little bit of counting to do. We need to see how many pairs of tied notes there are in the melody. Now it seems an easy question, but it's easy to get sidetracked. Remember, a tied note joins note head to note head of exactly the same pitch. This is a timing issue, unlike here where this is a slur over notes of different pitch, meaning to play it smoothly. That's an articulation issue. So they aren't ties, that one is. They are not. They are not. That isn't, but that one is, because it's note head to note head of exactly the same pitch. That is not. Now over the bar line, that is. So that's a bit of a tricky one. Be careful you don't miss that one. That's still F sharp tied to F sharp. We get the same tie again here, and then this is also a tie. These are slurs, so we discount those. That's a slur, that's a tie, that's a slur, and that's a slur. So altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 tied notes in the melody. Now then, if we just turn over the page, this takes us to question 2. And now from 2018 onwards, this question will no longer appear on the exam paper. So we don't do either of these. Originally it was a a choice. You could do either the rhythm to words or complete a 4-bar rhythm. However, now we don't do any of these on the exam, so we just skip those and move on. So although this question is no longer on the later papers from 2018 onwards, I do recommend that you still use these older papers for revision. They're still an excellent revision resource. Just remember that you now no longer need to complete this question. So that means that question is also completed, and we can move on to the next question in the next video. I do hope that's helpful to you. I hope that you're enjoying it. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Please also do go to sharonbale.com and make use of all of the resource that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.